Hello everybody, welcome to class. My name is Michael Holland. I'm going to be the instructor for this class, Principles of Marketing, Business 330 at Ashford University. The class lasts for the next 5 weeks, and I'm very much looking forward to this class. I'm confident that you're going to get a lot of great things out of this class. Whether you go into marketing or any other area, I think there's going to be a lot of great things you're going to come away with and remember for a long, long time. Be very happy that you put the time and effort to study this class. First, a little bit about how the class is set up. This course draws heavily on the case study method of instruction. What that means is case studies of real world examples, real practical examples that organizations and companies have faced in the past in terms of their marketing challenges. We study these real world examples with real people many times in order to make the examples come to life better. It makes for a lot more interesting study, a lot more lasting in terms of the impact they're going to have on you. And I myself, I'm a case study example. I'm not simply an academic lecturer. I am a market researcher, worked for many different kind of companies, hundreds and hundreds of different market research studies using dozens of research methodologies for a lot of different industries. So the case study setup for this class matches very well with my background as well. One of the reasons I'm really looking forward to this class. Now I'm going to start with a good place for a lot of courses to start, and that is to define the title of the course, marketing. I'm going to read to you a definition of marketing that appears in the first chapter of our textbook. Marketing, the process by which companies create value for customers and build strong customer relationships in order to capture value from customers in return. As you can tell, I read that textbook definition. And that's a pretty good definition as textbook definitions go. Our textbook, by the way, an excellent textbook. One of the reasons it's such a good textbook is that it's not so arrogant to think that there's just one definition of marketing. There are many valid ways of thinking about marketing. That one textbook definition is a pretty good one because it incorporates a lot of other things, a lot of other practical, pragmatic language within that conceptual sounding textbook definition. Other things like product development, distribution, retail and wholesale partners, competitive positioning, pricing. All those things are interwoven into that textbook definition. That textbook definition, by the way, authored by our textbook author, Philip Kotler, who's a highly esteemed, well-accomplished leader in the study of marketing. He goes on to talk quite a bit about creating customer value. We'll talk about that plenty in this course. The course introduces lots of structure to the class. The study of marketing would just be filled with all kinds of loosely connected, nebulous concepts floating around, and it would leave the student really wondering, what does it all mean? How do you get your arms around it? How do you make sense of it all? How do you organize it all? The textbook introduces lots of concepts and organizes them into lots of lists, lots of structure. And that's a very good, very necessary thing. I'll be doing plenty of that myself throughout this course. But it can leave a student feeling a little confused about what some of the things talk about. For example, one of the structures with several substructures and intermediary things, lists within lists, one might be a marketer needs to be aware of changes in the external environment. And you may be wondering, well, what does that mean? That's where I come in. I'm going to try to lend some real world explanation to these conceptual sounding things. Changes in the external environment. I'll give you an example. Suppose you were to buy, say, a new cell phone. You signed up for a new cell phone service. You got your new handset. It's a nice, impressive sounding thing. Maybe it's a touch screen. Maybe it's got great text messaging capabilities. Whatever it is, you're so happy to have your new handset. But then after a while, you become a dissatisfied customer. Maybe the network coverage isn't so good. Maybe the customer service rep couldn't help you when you had a problem. Maybe they start charging you for a lot of things you didn't even know what they're charging for. Instead of just simply being dissatisfied and having to take it, consumers now have greater power to share their experiences with other consumers now. You can go online. Very many forums have been set up just for consumers to be empowered, share their good experiences, share their bad experiences, make recommendations, warn against companies or brands. There's an example of consumers being far more empowered than they were in the past. through social media. Social media is not just Facebook and Twitter. Social media is forums that people use for useful things as well to share information online. There's a change to the external environment that wasn't the case just a few years ago. Marketers need to be in tune for those changes in external environments. There are things that marketers, especially market research people, need to do in order to stay on top of how consumers are communicating with each other and influencing brands, brand strategy, marketing strategies through the sharing of information. That's an example of a change in external structure, and I'm going to try to bring some more real world practical explanation to those concepts that you're going to read about in your textbook. The textbook, by the way, a very, very good textbook, well worth your time to read. Please don't skimp on the reading. You'll need to know many of the things that are in the textbook. We'll talk about that more in just a minute. The course also covers market research, and those of you who went ahead and read a little bit on the instructor bio on me that's posted know that market research is my background. 20 years of conducting market research studies, literally hundreds and hundreds of studies using dozens of research methodologies in lots of different industries. It's a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and it's a topic that really has a big impact on the overall study of marketing. The course also goes on to talk about ethics and social responsibility for marketers. I'm really looking forward to this study as well, because this is where the study of marketing is going to take on a lot more meaningfulness in terms of what it all means beyond just short-term sales goals. While short-term sales goals are a very important thing and marketers need to be highly in tune to that, they also need to be aware of ethics, overall social responsibility. This course will also cover lots of things that way as well. Now, to sum up just a little bit about how the course is run, I mentioned 5 weeks for this course. Each week is fairly self-contained, a module. Each week there's going to be about 3 assignments. You'll see the description of the assignments in your student course guide. The assignments require you to make postings on the discussion board. When you make a posting, you bring in lots of the experience you've had in the past, things that you have known in the past as they relate to the topic of that particular assignment. I'm looking forward to hearing you all on how your past experience relates to that. Even more so, I'm looking forward to hearing what new learning you're going to bring to the course. New learning from either the textbook, the instructor guidance, written form, or video instructor guidance, anything else you may have read online. I want you to see lots and lots of new learning in this class. So highly encouraged to express new learning that it's really the only way to score maximum possible points. If you just say, well, I used to work here and this is what we talked about back at this company on this topic, and that's the gist of your post. Well, that may be nice. It may even be relevant. But unless it incorporates some new learning, you're not going to be able to score the maximum possible points on each assignment that way. With the exception of the very first assignment, which is simply post your introduction. No new learning is required for posting your introduction. Just simply tell who you are, a little bit about your background, what you're hoping to get out of the course, why you decided to take the course, anything that you know about marketing as it relates to this course in the background. Now, if those of you who don't have marketing in your background, that's okay. You're going to have just as much of an opportunity to score maximum possible points as those people who do have lots of marketing background. Please don't be intimidated. Another thing about this course, you may have seen in the course guide assessments each week. Assessment, that word means quiz. Please don't be intimidated by a quiz. Those of you who don't like taking tests, those of you who freeze up on multiple choice questions or any other kind of test taking format, please don't worry. These quizzes are not really difficult. I expect these quizzes will be a pretty straightforward way for you to score all the maximum possible points for the quizzes. The reason I'm so confident you're going to do well, the quizzes are open textbook. If you're taking a quiz, you come across a question you don't know, simply open up your textbook and you could find the answer. It's very simple. That's a big part of the reason why I'm hoping any anxiety anybody feels about quizzes will be diffused. It's open textbook. Just find the answer in the text. A shortcut way is to look at the glossary or list of terms or index in the back of the textbook, find the topic you need for that particular quiz question, and then you'll be able to go to it somewhere in the format of all the chapters of your textbook. Now, please don't skimp on the text. There's plenty of other things in there that's well worth your time in reading, but the quiz will be easy given that it's open textbook. Now, you have 12 hours to take the quiz. 12 hours is a long time. You won't need that long. However, you're given that long because plenty of you will be studying the textbook while you're taking the quiz. You can only take the quiz once, however. The reason for that is so that people don't guess an answer, submit their quiz, change their guess, submit it again, change it some more, submit it again. Keep on changing and submitting until you've guessed your way to all the answers. You can only take the quiz once, but you've got 12 hours to do it. So I expect all of you will do very well in the quizzes. I encourage you to get in touch with me at any time you want, either through email, through the Ask Your Instructor tool, or just simply through the discussion board. I'm looking forward to meeting each of you online. Looking forward to having a wonderful class. I expect you're all going to do well, and look forward for the next video posting, which will be instructor guidance for week 1. Thanks, everyone, and good luck.